03. Diddy's team has been on this PR blitz, and it got to be for the president, not for us. Because first of all, I get why he's suing News Nation, Courtney Burgers, and his lawyer. Because at the end of the day, he needs to make up for the money. Diddy is going broke. He has lost everything. All he has is probably money hidden overseas, I would imagine, because he doesn't want to get taken in federal forfeit. He is going broke. He got theft 111 kids. And how else is he going to buy his male groupies to get on their knees and do what they can publicly to show that they're working with Diddy? I'm just saying. Ain't no groupie like a old washed-up wannabe reporter groupie, but that is what it is, right? Anyway, let's get into this. But the why is the reason it happening. Why have we been seeing Diddy crashing out? We have his lawyer saying 3 different things. We got all these interviews. We have this thing because Diddy is begging Trump for a pardon. Now here's the thing. I hope President Trump doesn't give him a pardon. Trump is known for making people humiliate themselves and kiss the ring. Don't forget, in the last election or the first election, he went hard against Trump. He said Trump should be banished. He said this. He said that it don't matter whether it's right or wrong. Now Trump got Diddy on his knees talking about please, 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 I promise I'll support you, to which I will say I don't even think that promise goes very far. Because let's be real. And let's be real, right? Anyone that voted for Trump don't need Diddy to tell him. And anybody that supports Diddy, half of them did, 80% of them I would bet didn't even vote. And the other 20%, I mean, come on. Like, really? Anyway, right, even did his voter die? Did that mobilize anyone? Or was it just like a bunch of concerts to show that he can move Harlem? Anyway, right, Diddy is suing for that 100. Now Diddy is also suing because he needs to create a narrative, I believe in the public eye, that it won't be that much backlash if Trump pardons him. Trump is getting his booty handed to him over the Ghislaine Maxwell and Trumpstein, the Epstein files. He is getting his butt handed to him. Diddy wants to be pardoned. Trump is like, I don't know if I can do all that. I've really got my hands full with just, say, Maxwell. Like, what is going on? Nobody even thinks you're innocent. So he is trying to prove that he can be loved and accepted by the public. That is why he is pushing back in the public, getting his lawyers out there to work and hustle for every penny he paid them, going on a PR slant. But listen to this, right? They filed a $1 million defamation lawsuit in Southern District of New York, suing Courtney Burgess, lawyer Ariel Mitchell, and News Nation for claiming to be in possession of fake videos. Get this. They said he's escalating his legal battle against one of his accusers and the news outlets that helped publicize his claims. Now, the court never just actually accused Diddy of anything, because what happened to this lawsuit? Remember, they were suing over Kim's book, Kim's diary, and they said it was fake and Kim was never working on a book and didn't have a diary. But then they turned around and said, okay, well, fine, it exists, but it's ours. And I was like, wait a second, does it exist or not? And then they all wiped it back and they said whatever he has is owned by the kids. So it made it seem like Courtney actually had something. What happened to that lawsuit? Anyway, get this. They said he's escalated. Diddy, who sued Courtney Burgess in January for $50 million on allegations of defamation, amended his complaint against the man in the U.S. District Court in the Southern District of New York on August. Courtney's lawyer, Ariel Mitchell, and news broadcaster News Nation are also named as defendants in the lawsuit. Now again, I think Diddy's going broken. I think that's where all these lawsuits are coming from. And Diddy, all he's doing is sitting in jail complaining about maggots and hiding because apparently somebody tried to hurt him. That's what he said, his conditions of release. And Judge Aaron was like, we do not care. Speaking of Judge Aaron, I know he's sitting there watching all this like Judge Aaron has made it clear on the way he feels about Diddy. I do believe when he sentences Diddy, he will be fair. But fair doesn't mean that Diddy's going to get off. I believe the prosecution is going to ask for music. Well, let's see. At the last employee meeting, because, you know, I work for the feds, and the feds are breaking years of federal rules and laws and civil procedure to pay me under the table to report the fact that I believe that Diddy is a woman beater who deserves to be in jail. Imagine that, right? Projection at his finest. Anyway, I will say judging by the way, never mind. Let's keep it positive, okay? So in any case, Judge Aaron has made it clear he don't think Diddy got away a leg to stand on, and he looks at domestic violence as he should. I believe that he is going to give Diddy a very stern to harsh sentence. I do think it's going to be fair. I don't think he's going to throw him in jail for 20 years. But let's not forget there's no mandatory minimum or maximum for the Mann Act. What does that mean? That means that since there's no minimum or maximum for the Mann Act, if they're trying to overturn the judge's sentencing, okay, that means that he can sentence up to 19 years and 360 days, and they can't really appeal that in appeal court. That's why he's so worried and why he's begging for Trump. Do I think Trump will give him a pardon? No. A year from now, maybe we'll revisit this, but I think right now it is too much mess going on for Trump to give political capital away to somebody like Diddy. Anyway, he's seeking an additional compensation no less than $100 million in damages for the severe reputational harm caused by his outlandish claims, which Diddy's attorneys alleged culminated in a media frenzy against the hip-hop mogul. They're trying to say that Courtney Burgess was the reason why everybody turned on Diddy. Is he suing Tony Busby? Is he suing C? Well, I'm sure if he could, he would. Is he suing like Jane, Cassie, anybody like that? Like the fact that Diddy is trying to act like he had a choir boy reputation and now everything fell down because of Courtney Burgess. Anyway, right? So also they said in this pitiful spectacle, all pretense of objectivity has been abandoned as a global audience feast at the all-you-can-eat buffet of wild lies and conspiracy theories. Mitchell and Burgers are among the worst perpetrators of the offensive sin. They eagerly court every opportunity to broadcast blatant falsehoods, pretending they have proof that Diddy engaged in heinous acts, knowing that no such proof exists. His attorneys also accuse News Nation in its coverage of Burgers' claims of lending its credibility to and amplifying defendant Burgos and Mitchell's lies, giving them a mainstream media platform to malign Diddy for defendants' collective profit. Didn't Burgos and them come later on? They weren't the ones that held up the spare, but they did come for some stuff. Also, I think Diddy's reputation was already trash by the time Tony Busby started going. And what we learned of him on the trial, can you say that anybody even remembers the News Nation stuff? I mean, I get it, but then again, I don't, because it's funny how we saw Diddy brutally beat a woman. We saw Diddy lawyer in court brutally being like, it's a love story about a woman being another woman being viciously beat. We saw people like, he's repented, he wants to be a counselor. Everything Diddy does, it's just boys will be boys, and what do you want to do? It's over with. But whenever somebody goes against Diddy, it's the crisis of the century. I mean, at the end of the day, are you serious? Are you serious? Why can't we just chalk this up the same way you, chalked up what you did to Jane and Cassie and Mia and Ban and everything else, right? Fair is fair. Anyway, in October 2024, News Nation Burgos and Mitchell alleged that the man who reportedly at one point testified in front of a grand jury for Cole's federal criminal case, possessed several videos purportedly showing Diddy sexually assaulting minors, including celebrity, at his freak-off Mex party. At the time of his original lawsuit in January, Diddy, who was awaiting trial in his landmark Smex suit, sought $50 million in damages from Burgos and Mitchell. The disgraced Music says the pair's remarks about freak-off footage has the potential to poison the minds of the people who might serve on the jury. Okay, but you got off, so you're suing because maybe somebody might have, okay. But you got off on the RICO and you got off on the SMMX trafficking, and what they did get you on was the prostitutes. But the prostitutes testified in court that you actually moved them, and the accountant and everybody else actually showed proof that you paid to move them. So I'm confused. Anyway, they also say that they said that he accused Ariel Mitchell of spreading false statements about the rapper in another case involving a woman who alleged that Diddy sexually assaulted her in Northern California. Mitchell reportedly discussed the case in News Nation interview that aired in September 2024, claiming there was a police report that confirmed the woman's assault allegation. However, Diddy's lawyers claimed in the lawsuit that the actual police report of the alleged incident did not identify Coleman's and thoroughly discredit the woman's claims. But was he there or not? Because here's my thing on Diddy. And just hear me out. It's not that I don't believe Diddy, okay? I don't believe him, and let me just tell you why. Because at the end of the day, didn't you say there was no claims to you and Cassie? Didn't you say that was all lies? Didn't you say we shouldn't listen? Didn't you tell us? And now look, we found out and you were still saying that until the tape came out. Anyway, further questioning News Nation's relationship with Ariel Mitchell, Diddy's attorney cited several alleged ethics violations Ariel has faced as a Florida-based attorney, including allegations of bribery and false statements to the media. They said defendants made the false and defamatory statements in bad faith as part of deliberate effort to damage his reputation, undermine his business, and by painting him as the boss in a PDF file to poison the public's perception to him and deprive him of a fair trial. What do I think about that? I think about that everything I've been thought about Diddy. I think, why is it that we live in a world where Diddy thinks that everything that happens to him is worth a $1 million suit, but everything he did to those women's bodies ain't worth anything and he should just be allowed to go back to his thing again? I don't know. There must be fairness and dealings. What do y'all think about this? I do think that Diddy is going to try to start suing everybody to get what he can from anybody he can. I don't know, but is it going to be successful? Because at the end of the day, the worst things he pretty much admitted to in court. Now the minor stuff, true, that never came up. But that said, if Courtney Burgess got that video, then let's actually see it, cause I'm actually interested in it too. Let's get this pop. And what, literally hand that into authorities. Let's get this is popping. Anyway, y'all let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later.